This is the Leading Ladies Podcast with Karen Gray, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they've learned on their road to success, and get exclusive access on how to implement their success into your life and business. The Leading Ladies Podcast is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Karen Gray.
Hey, are you looking to scale your business from 5 figures to 6 figures or 6 figures to 7 figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash, and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
I am so excited about today because I met this powerhouse at an event, and oh my gosh, this woman, I just absolutely fell in love with her, and I can't wait for you to hear her story today. Erika Rothenberger, welcome, welcome, welcome to.
Oh my goodness, I'm so honored to be on. This is just absolutely amazing. And the feeling is 100% mutual. From the minute I met you, I was like, that woman has a magic about her that I need to be her friend.
Oh, thank you. I feel the same way. It was a love fest and still is. And I love following you on social media. So you need more Erika in your life. This woman is just such a light in the darkness on all things.
I think sometimes we, especially as women, we play so small and we're not willing to just have the audacity to say, you know what, I do want this, this, and this. And to just really be laser focused, your 3 pillars, right? Taking your 3 minutes of gratitude every day, making sure you're working towards your 3 goals every day, and taking 30 minutes to protect your soul and fill your pocket. And I really love to be able to empower transformational thinking on stages by sharing that.
I love it. And I can totally see that that is exactly who you are in this 3.0 version of you with the 3 pillars, the Erika 3.0 with your 3 pillars. Like how perfect is that? And what I want people to come away from this with is that everything has a season and a purpose, and there's a timing to that purpose. So if they are struggling to feel that connection to their purpose, how do you feel like you found yours, or did it find you?
I think it goes both ways. I think, it's just like anything, right? I think when you look or try to white knuckle anything too much, it's never going to just come to you. But I also really believe in intentionally going after what you want. But trying to find that, I don't believe in any perfect balance, but trying to find yourself in flow. And for many of us, and probably many people that are listening, we're type A, we're like, we got to be in action. We got to be moving all the time to feel like we're accomplishing. And sometimes it's actually going back to that power of the pause to say, okay, what's my heart really telling me? Right? Yeah. What am I taking enough time to just be by myself and say, this is my alignment. This is where I want to be. And I truly believe it is an evolution. Right? What I wanted 5 years ago is very different than what I want now. And I believe 5 months from now, it will evolve even more. And I think the more you work on it, again, going back to those 3 pillars, if you're working on it a little bit every day, you're really going to start to figure that out. Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's like kind of like making a puzzle. You put those first couple pieces together, you have no idea what that picture is going to look like.
Right.
But if you add a piece or 2 every day, the vision becomes clearer and clearer to you. And sometimes it may be like, hey, listen, I have to recreate something else, or I'm going to go work on a new puzzle, and that's okay too, right?
Right.
So
And sometimes
not
we
being,
have the box, right? We have the picture to go by, and it's right there in front of us, and we're not even using it. We're not even seeing it. We're not even recognizing it. And then one day something happens or someone brings it to your attention, and you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly who I am. That's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly what I needed to fit all these puzzle pieces together. Now I know what that goal is, that end goal of my purpose.
yeah. And I
So
also think too is like making sure, I know most of us, we love validation. We love to call the
Right.
girlfriend. We love to call our board of directors. I truly believe that everyone should have 10 people on their board, because you always need 5 really strong board members, and then 5 of them that are like right behind there, or fill in the gaps between the other 5 but I also think you really, like, you can't just get that validation from the outward source. Like, you got to, really take as much time, if not more, to let yourself be
right.
the loudest voice, because you're going to hear a lot of different opinions. I mean, we could go talk to our 10 board of directors right now and get 10 different opinions.
Absolutely. It does
what's
come from
gonna-
that internal permission to just trust.
Yeah. Easier said than done too. And again, I really believe that just continues to come from practice, from just, sometimes making the wrong decision, and being okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Failing forward.
I have this ongoing joke between me and my husband. When I married into his family, his grandmother, who was, I think she was 89, 90 at the time, sassy. She looked like Santa Claus's wife. Absolutely one of the boldest, strongest, most amazing women I've ever met. Absolutely a love and mentor of my life. I love and adore her. She passed away in 2020, but at the time, she was getting to know me, and we had just moved to West Texas, to where she lived, to help out with some things. And she asked me one day, she said, Karen, how did you get so smart? It was just such a sweet compliment, because she's brilliant. And I said, you know what? We call her Gigi. Her name was Gloria, but she was Gigi. I said, you know what, Gigi? I've done everything wrong at least once. And she thought that was like the funniest response with the most truth to it ever. I have been so bullheaded all my life, and people would tell me, don't do this or do that. And I'm like, okay, I have to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
And I would do it. And it's like, oh yeah, that is wrong. So
Yep.
I would try it at least once.
And you
do
learn
it.
the best lessons that way.
And those lessons stick, right? So
Yes, they
now
do.
I tell my kids, you're going to make your own mistakes. Just don't make mine. Here's this. Here's your guideline. Here's your kind of boundaries. Go make your mistakes inside these boundaries.
Yes. Yes.
So, but there's so much power in knowing yourself, trusting yourself, loving and accepting yourself, and then giving yourself grace to figure all that out. So much.
100%. 100%.
How would you define audacity? So when you say that word, what does that mean to you?
I love that question. So sometimes audacious can have a little bit of a negative connotation. Like you like, oh, well, she's being really audacious, right? And sometimes people can look at that as like almost being like being dismissive to everyone else.
Yeah.
But sometimes
or aggressive.
Aggressive, right? But I truly believe if you want to go after your goals and you want to go after your dreams, I look at audacity is being bold and being brave and being so confident in yourself, again, going back there, that you're willing to do those things where like the grain of the sandpaper is kind of rough. And it's okay, because anyone who has made any sort of, massive success has had to do that, had to do things that don't necessarily feel right. And it goes kind of back to my comment before, like, stop listening to the validation of everyone else, like be willing to be who you are, because that's truly what's going to get you to that epiphany. And again, I'm not saying that you don't ever have to self-correct, or when you talk to your therapist, that you need to put some mirrors in front of you or do a 360 to, adapt or change a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you have to have the boldness and the braveness to go after your dreams and your goals in your life, and without being audacious by playing small, you're never going to be able to truly get there. And again, everyone's definition of playing big or playing small is different. So my definition is very different than yours, but it needs to be your definition of being bold and being brave.
Yeah, I love that. Because to someone that's struggling with just getting out of the house, right, after COVID and all that, it could just be taking a trip to the grocery store. That's big and bold.
Yeah.
To
walk around your neighborhood.
Right. Yeah. To someone else, it could be, getting on stage with like Amberly Lago and Ben Newman and, John Gordon. Like that could be, that same.
Right.
And two different people, two different audacity levels. But what I heard in that you said was audacity to you is operating with big, bold, brave belief.
You summed it up perfectly.
When you were saying that, I'm like, oh, wow. Like you and your pillars, like your threes. So it could be bold, brave belief or whatever, but it's just identifying what bold and brave means to you and then believing it, regardless of what the other proof is around you, right? Sometimes we look for proof. I do oftentimes. But that doesn't take faith. When it's there and you can see it, you don't have to have faith to believe it's true. You can see it. But it's when you operate out of that point of faith, believing that it can be, whether you see it or not, that's where the bravery and the boldness and the, audacity comes in. And I love that so much.
And think about any larger than life, person, right? Like
right.
When you think of, just any who you consider like a celebrity or any large company, you think of the Apples or the Netflix or, where are the companies that decided to be bold and go out there and really take their business to another stratosphere, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have other companies that you look at like Radio Shack or Blockbuster who weren't, and they just stayed really comfortable. And guess what? They went out of business. Right. So again, it goes kind of back to that light. Like, if you really want to be bright and be out there and do your thing and make it happen, you got to be willing to kind of go against the grain sometimes and make some moves. That could be the right moves or the wrong moves, but at least make the moves, because to me, it's going to make that next move a little less scary, right? You get
and it's always moving you forward towards whatever that end goal is. And sometimes that end goal requires those lessons.
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus? What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
That are the sandpaper moments.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It goes back to the consistency. Yeah. And I think also, regardless of, beliefs or whatever, I believe in a God, and just being willing to talk to that higher power, you know what I mean? And find that. And I find that happening a lot when I am outside and I feel that sun and just knowing there's something else guiding you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So what book are you reading right now?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's actually funny. Someone actually just gave me this book today, The Paradox of Having Your Shit Together, which is really funny. I actually met the author today, and he brought this as a present.
Who is the author? Who is it written by?
Matthew Mizimir.
Okay.
But I will tell you that it was so random that he just came and showed it to me, and gave it to me today. So it's actually going to be next on my list. I actually just finished reading a book on resilience by Harvard Business Review last weekend. And I'm actually reading, a book on money manifestation right now. Because I believe, listen, what you read about grows. And, so, I many times I have 2 or 3 books going at one time.
I love it. Yeah.
And I have the book ready for vacation. What got you here won't get you there. And that's one that I'm actually bringing with me on vacation.
I love it. So, I have been reading and then listening to a book. Jamie Kern-Lima, Dana's doing a book club on Worthy.
Yes.
And I love that book. I've actually read parts of it over and again. And then I listened to the whole thing on Audible. My daughter lives 3 hours, just a little over 3 hours away. So in my travels to go see my new grandbaby, I got to listen to that book, and it's been a great partner because she does the narration in it. So you get to hear her voice, and it's just I love when the authors do their own narration because they add extra things, and you get to hear their inflections and what they really meant. So it's great. Mel Robbins does another. She does her books, and she's another great one. And of course, Brene Brown, 3 of my favorites that do their own, and so good, so good. But thank you for sharing those books. I love them. And for anybody else listening, Worthy is another great read. And
it's on my list.
It is so good. So good.
Yes.
I actually tend to find books, and then it's like the universe brings me people that need them, and I end up giving them away before I finish them or after I've read them. So I have books and then don't even think about loaning. I'm just like, it's yours. I know you're not, give it back. I'm going to forget you have it. So it's all good. It's not a library.
Perfect.
You don't have to check it out. Be blessed.
And I also want to remind people, like, your book doesn't have to always be a novel book. Like, I have 4 books that I wake up to every morning. If you follow me on Instagram, you see them in my stories almost every single day. I don't travel with all 4 books, but, I have 2 spiritual books and 2 motivational books. And one of my favorite one is A Year of Positive Thinking. And every day it's a new paragraph on just positive thinking. And it's just a different way to look at positive thinking. So I want to remind you that if you're not the type that's going to go read a novel or listen to an audiobook, it doesn't have to be what we traditionally look like as a book. It could be just something that you put into practice. So every morning I spend about 5 minutes going through those books, reflecting on them, reading them, highlighting them. So again, you'll see those in my stories pretty much every day. And why do I post them in my stories? Well, I post them just as much to share that message with other people who are looking at my stories, but I also share them to hold myself accountable, to say, you know what, this is something that I need to fuel myself every day. When I post them, I know it's almost like a check of the box that I did the work.
Yeah, you're so good about your stories. I love them. So again, find her over on Instagram is where she hangs out mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and it's Erika with a K when you go to find her. But all the links will be in the show notes. Any final words that you want to leave our listeners with? Any words of wisdom or anything that has just come up through this conversation?
Yeah, I think the other thing is we're living in a world right now, and that can be dark. And we have to remember there are a lot of people that, need our light and need us to lift them as we're rising. And it not only helps us, but when we serve others, it's remarkable about the doors that will open for you. Absolutely. So who can you serve? Who can you lift? Who needs their light brightened? And how are you going to commit to be that person? One of my favorite things every day is to leave everyone that I'm friends with on Facebook message that it comes up their birthdays is a 15-second birthday message. And I start my day every day on the way to the gym. And that's what I'm doing on the way to the gym. And sometimes it's 5 people and other times it's 15 people, depending on how many people have birthdays that day. And it fuels me. And the messages I get back, like, you were the first one at 4:45 to leave me a message, or you just made my day, or we haven't connected in forever. And it maybe takes me, less than 5 minutes to do. And the impact that people are getting. Some people are barely getting an HBD text from, their significant other. So when you leave them a personal voice note and lift other people in your day, find a ritual that allows you to do that. And mine is birthday messages.
I love that. So
like there'll be days, and it's usually the days where I'm not feeling great. As hard as it is to muster out that first message, you do 5 of those and your vibration changes. Significantly, like your entire trajectory. And I think when it comes full circle, and not that I ever do it with the intent of, oh, what's the message going to be back? But when you do it with intent, and someone does give you that message back and you know that you changed their day, I don't care what contract gets signed, what dollars are in your bank account. There's nothing that can fulfill you and make you feel like you really lifted someone else.
Yeah.
So go lift, go rise, and spread gratitude, affirmation, compliments like it's confetti, right? Just spread it.
Because the world needs more of that. The world needs more Erika confetti in the world. So,
yes.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, sweet. I have loved this. Thank you so much for being on here, for all that you're doing, and for being in my world. I am so blessed.
I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be part of this with you. So thank you for all you're doing.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win.
Thanks for listening to the Leading Ladies podcast with Karen Gray. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest best business advice on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God.